Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Hijabi Housewife channel. I have tons of laundry to do, so I thought we could maybe do it together. Go get your laundry. It's 8:45 p.m. But a homemaker's work is never done, even at 8:45 p.m. A woman's work is never done. Now, before we get up in a rage about that statement, relax. Men can do laundry too, but you know what I'm talking about. You feel me. So I am the mama of 4 children, 5 and under, and so that means the laundry is ridiculous, and it means that it's 8:45 p.m. and I am folding laundry. Because if you've ever tried to fold laundry with 4 little children, you'll understand why I'm doing it at 8:45 when everyone's sleeping. So sometimes I do dickard when I'm folding laundry. It's a nice meditative exercise. But I thought now we could maybe do it together in this social distancing and self-isolation and quarantine business of COVID. We could maybe have a chat and do our chores. COVID-19. How are you guys all doing? I hope good. I hate doing laundry. I don't know if there's anybody who likes. Is there anyone out there who likes it? Who's like, ooh, pick me? If that's you, leave a comment. Tell us your secret. I don't like doing the laundry. But if there's one thing that motherhood teaches you, is that just because you don't like something, so what? Just because you don't like to do it doesn't mean, or just because it's hard doesn't mean that you get a pass. Okay? So maybe that's something we can take into this COVID-19 issue. I mean, people are really losing it. People are letting fear creep in and panic and hysteria, and it's really it's a scary time. And more than the virus, at least in my opinion, more than the virus, it's scary for me because there are people melting down because they don't have baby wipes. Baby wipes. Back in our grandmother's time, what were baby wipes? What was a reusable diaper? We're so out of touch now, and I think this COVID-19 business and this lockdown and this shutdown has really put a highlight on how out of touch we've become, and how really spoiled we've become and entitled. And this is not a judgment, I definitely include myself in that category, so this is not a judgment, but just a call, for myself and for everybody. Like, we got to get back to the basics. I mean, we can't be letting baby wipes take us out, okay? We cannot be letting baby wipes take us out. No, honey. Cut up that t-shirt that you hate your husband wearing, cut it up and use it as a baby wipe. And if you don't have laundry, if you don't have a washer and dryer, wash them in the sink, hang them to dry. Yes, it's harder. Yes, it's a bit more work. Not that much more work. To be honest with you, it takes an extra 5 minutes maybe to wash like wipes. It obviously, if you're washing clothes by hand, it takes much longer. But if you're just like using reusable wipes for your family, maybe instead of toilet paper, or which, if you guys want me to get into like how to do that, leave a comment below, because also, like, toilet paper is going to take us down. We're going to go down in history as the society that got taken down by a lack of toilet paper. I mean, come on. We can do better than this, you guys. It's okay. Don't fear. Don't panic. Just get resourceful. It's time for us to start, you know, getting resourceful. Don't let the fact that that you can't get bread from the store in a plastic bag, don't let that take you down, okay? Just make bread. That's the answer. Make bread. And it's not difficult. Baking bread is not hard. Now it's a little bit difficult, I think, because flour and yeast are hard to come by. But ask somebody, ask someone to borrow some. If you have relationships like that. If you don't, I'm sorry, And I think that that's what makes it hard. Our grandmothers and our great grandmothers, they had a team of women. They had a community of women that they kept together and did things together like laundry to make it seem, they would get all their kids together and the kids would go off and play, and it wasn't like a structured play group or there was craft time and circle time. No, they just come together, kids go play, the wives do the cooking or the laundry, or women were busy from sun up to sun down back in the day, and it was work that was meaningful. I think now we have gotten away from doing like really meaningful work and when I say meaningful, again, this is not a judgment on anybody's job, but I just mean when we engage in work that that helps us to maintain our survival, like doing things by hand, cooking from scratch, learning how to bake bread, cleaning your clothes, making your clothes, being able to fix things in your home, build a house. Like when we engage in that kind of work, that's what I mean by meaningful. It's like almost 9:00, so my brain, my language might not be there, but when we engage in productive work that helps to sustain us, there really is a boost. You get a boost. So when you busy yourself cleaning your home and doing your laundry, even if it's doing your laundry by hand, you're going to be surprised. Like initially, because we're a little bit spoiled, I think, in terms of our luxuries, initially we're like, ugh, doing laundry by hand, I don't have the time, I can't do that, that's too hard, and then we get into this kind of defeatist mindset, and then that mindset really takes us down, and then we feel crappy, and then no, just, it's okay. Do the laundry by hand, and you're gonna see that work is rewarding, and it'll give you a little bit of boost. It's like baking bread too. Yes, it takes work. Yes, it's a process. It's not like snap your fingers and there you go, bread from the unicorn fairies. No. You have to work to make the bread. But once it's done and you're eating something that you've made yourself from your own hands and your own effort, there is blessing in that. There is really good energy in that. And it's the same thing, maybe canning your own food, learning how to cook from scratch. Put down the frozen meals and cook something from scratch, and when you eat it, maybe the first time or two it won't be so enjoyable until you get the hang of it, but there really is a good feeling, when you fix something in your house, or you do your own work and you look back at the end of it, even if it sucked the whole way through, you're gonna get a boost, and you're gonna start to build confidence that way, Don't get taken down by baby wipes. Like, don't let baby wipes take you out, okay? Tap into your resourcefulness and your creativity, I promise you it's there. Just accept the need and honor that need that you have, and fill it by any means necessary. And I don't mean going and stealing someone else's baby wipes or like doing something criminal to go get money to buy baby wipes. I'm just saying, you know, use your creativity. You have it, you know, you had it. Our grandmothers had it. Our great grandmothers had it. Our ancestors had it. We're just so out of touch. And we don't like things that seem hard anymore. And I think we've gotten so away, like the concept of using reusable wipes, for example, or reusable diapers, or making your own clothes seems so foreign to us now. And we don't really see very many people doing it, that the idea of it is like, are you crazy? I can't make bread. Are you crazy? I can't make my own clothes. Are you crazy? Like, I don't know how to do that. That's hard. Like, that's too hard. I don't have the time. I promise you it's not as time consuming as you think. It's not going to be as hard as you think, and you'll probably feel good about it after. So, yeah, don't let the baby wipes take you down. Don't let the toilet paper take you out, okay? And that's not to make light of a serious situation, or to poke fun at anybody who's suffering, or it's hard, you know, it's really hard. My journey, I guess, with, you know, I've had a little bit of practice, so I do really empathize with those of us who were accustomed to a certain lifestyle, maybe, and all of a sudden you're kind of shocked out of it, right? Or you know, those of us who were really disconnected from the work of the women of yesteryear, you know, like if maybe you called out to get your laundry done, and maybe you had a housekeeper and a nanny or babysitters or daycare, because you had a career, and you're now kind of thrown very suddenly into this position that can be really overwhelming. I mean, I said this before, like, this is a job, you know, this is a whole career. This really does take some practice and some skill sets. So don't be too hard on yourself. If you're really struggling, it's hard. It's really hard. And if you're looking around at other women who seem to be taking it better, or don't seem to be struggling as much as you, please know that probably, you know, they might have been stay-at-home moms for a while now, or already used to being on a really low budget. And so just be gentle with yourself, because this is a really hard lifestyle to kind of just get you just got thrown to the wolves, and it's hard. But so in that way, I feel like maybe that's why I'm not panicking as much, maybe. But we do really have to work hard not to let the fear, you know, creep in. Which again, it's really scary when you get an income cut or a loss. So my journey with frugality started maybe 8 years ago, before I was married. I had 2 jobs. I had 2 serving jobs. I was a waitress at one restaurant, and then I was like a hostess at another one. So a hostess is just kind of like, you don't really get tips or anything. It's just minimum wage. So I lost my job at the they didn't have any more hours anymore at the restaurant where I was serving at, and because I was the newest hire, I was the one to go, which was fine. Okay, but it meant that I was living on my own in Ottawa, on a minimum wage job, and I think at the time I wasn't quite working 40 hours a week. So the good thing with a hostess is that you get, I think, they call it kickback, or like tip out from the servers. So the servers will usually give like a few dollars or whatever to the host for every shift that they work. So for me, it ended up being about like $25 a week extra. And was my grocery money. So I had to learn really quickly how to make $25 a week stretch. So thankfully it was just me at the time, but I learned a few things really quickly. Everything that I ate had to be from scratch, and that buying in bulk was the best way to go. So instead of trying to take $25 every week, it was just better if I took $100 or like $80 and bought like a big bag of rice, a big bag of flour, you know, that kind of stuff, and then kept you know, like $20 a month for milk and everything like that. So in order for me to do that, I had to get like really thorough. So I measured out and figured out how much like a serving would be of each quantity. So I would go through like a 20 kilo bag of flour and figure out how much each cup of flour costs. Same thing with beans, same thing with rice. And then I had all of my meals budgeted. Like I knew exactly how much I could spend for my grocery haul, I guess, how much I could eat each day. So I think it was like $3.20 or something like that is what I had every single day to eat. And how I kept in that $3.20 is that I just knew how much each serving of everything costs. So in meal planning, I would meal plan according to cost. Anyways, so sorry, I thought I heard a baby. Anyways, meal planning according to cost. Yeah, and it just made me realize, you know, that one, we really are really far away from where our grandmothers were and where our great grandmothers were, and the level of resourcefulness that we had, or that they had. And I somehow that chain didn't, it's like skipped us or something. I mean, that resourcefulness, and I guess, you know, as technology kind of ramps up and societies progress and women get more involved in things outside of the home, and families kind of split up and move apart. I guess that's kind of just what happens. But for me, it was like really clear, like, whoa, you know, I had no idea. But two, it was really empowering to me to be like, okay, you know, this is actually doable. And it really highlighted to me, like, I had $3.20 a day to eat, to make meals, and I was able to do that. So going to Starbucks and getting a $4 coffee, suddenly things were like really in perspective. Do you know what I mean? Learning that it takes, 27 cents to make 6 naan breads from scratch. All of a sudden it was like, whoa, and not that much time. So 27 cents, not a whole lot of time or effort. And then you compare it to going to the grocery store and spending $2 or $3 for naan bread that's not as good and is loaded with who knows what, plus all the packaging that you don't have to deal with. It just, for me, that necessity, and I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for the fact that I really only had $25. So it was an opportunity, a time of struggle, was a time of opportunity, and I took it as a challenge. I called it the grocery challenge. And so our mentality going into these things in times of struggle, if we take it like a game, if we make it fun, try to make it fun, like how low can you go, and really get into it, with the same situation, with the situation not changing, how you think about it, or how you receive it, or how you respond to it really makes a difference. It can be the difference of like anxiety attacks and depression and binge drinking and drugs and all of these other things to try to take the anxiety off, or getting through it okay. So yeah, I think right now we're being called, especially women. This is our time to shine, ladies. We are the frontline defense of the house. We are the defenders of the home. We are the guardians. God tells us this. We guard in our husband's absence what he would have us guard, right? That's a guardians, that's if we really think about that. That's a big role to be a guardian. So to maybe the women who have been busy in other things, with our jobs, with or maybe our social lives, right now we're really getting invited to come back and we're needed really deeply right now. And so let's answer that call. And if you're like, who, me? Yes, you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. You can do it. You can do it, especially if you're a mom, Pregnancy is no walk in the park, okay? If you can do that, you can do this. If you can have a baby, you can make bread. I promise. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Now, the piles of laundry. Now, let me tell you, it's a little bit trickier. But you can do that too. We can do it together. We just need to get a hold of ourselves, Now's not the time to panic. We can't be freaking out. We can't be freaking out and losing our minds. So if your budget got cut, your money got cut and your income, and you don't know what to do, one of the biggest, 2 maybe or 3 of the biggest ways that you can save on your budget is your house. Now, if you can't move or can't downsize, the next way is the groceries. You can save hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month getting your life together with your groceries. Cook from scratch. That'll be a big one. And listen, I'm not trying to hear I don't know how to cook. Neither did I. Okay? Neither did I. Listen, I was no domestic goddess, let me tell you. I asked my mom. Oh, my room was trash up until I was like 27 years old. You know, I had bigger and better things to do in my mind than clean and cook food. No, I was the queen of chocolate bars and salad. That was my diet forever. I did not cook. But when you have to, when that need presents itself, you have two options. You can throw a tantrum, or you can cook. That's it. I mean, so cook. There are that many YouTube videos showing you how to cook. It is not even funny. There is no excuse. Cook. Learn maybe 2 or 3 things. Get yourself a little stock up of spices. You know, that's the first thing I would say is get a good spices stock up. Forget the condiments. My white friends here, I know we love our condiments. Forget the condiments. They're expensive. They take up a lot of room in your fridge. No. Get some spices, oil, some vinegar, and start cooking. You can melt down or you can cook from scratch. Cooking from scratch is funner. If you have a car, can you get rid of it? Now this is the touchy one, and not everyone's gonna like that. And we're coming into a time now where we're gonna have to make choices that maybe aren't fun. And I think so getting our heads in a space where we accept that there are going to need to be some hard choices, and some of them are not going to be fun, and maybe it's not going to be our favorite thing. But Bismillah, you know, just we have to embrace it. And we might just find that actually, hey, we like riding bikes. That was another thing that I also had to do. I couldn't afford the insurance on my car. And so I had to park it and get a bike, and I biked between my 2 jobs that I had. I biked, and it was like 20 or 25 kilometers a day that I biked. And it was great. You know, it's not something maybe I would have chose at the beginning. Or if I had the money, I would have definitely got the insurance and drove my car, but I didn't have that, you know, that wasn't. So instead of me getting angry and throwing a tantrum about that, I just got a bike and I biked to work, and I had more energy. I really enjoyed to bike. It's quicker than the bus. Sometimes quicker or the same amount of time as the bus. And really, like, you'll see once you start to problem solve for things in your life, and you take challenges that come up or hardships that come up as a means to really use your skills that you don't know you have, it really can feel awesome, and you will be surprised at the end. I think most of us will be surprised actually how much better we feel. So I think that's it for me. My laundry's all done. See, when you work with somebody, it goes quicker. So that was just a little chat to try to encourage us to go back to the time of our grandmothers. Talk to your grandmother if she's still, you know, with you. There's 2 really good books that I like. One is called Clara's Kitchen, and you can find her online. Alhamdulillah, excuse me. I'm tired. It's late, you know, that's what it is. Anyways, Clara's Kitchen, or Great Depression Cooking with Clara. She was like, you know, she's passed now, but her grandson started this YouTube channel, and it's all about her sharing the recipes that she grew up eating as a little girl in the Great Depression. So a few years ago, I found her channel, and that really helped me a lot when, as a married woman, our income, once I stopped working, our income went down quite a bit, so I really looked to her to start learning how to, first of all, to gain perspective, okay? Gain serious perspective, and then two, to kind of get ideas on how you can make cheap dinners and things that are simple and good and hearty. So Cooking with Clara, and she has a book and she talks about stories and things like that. And then there's another one on Kindle called Making Do by Jean Weston. And it's a book, it's a collection of stories that this woman interviewed a lot of women from different backgrounds and races from the Great Depression. And it's just all of their stories and how it was that it was, how was it for a woman in the Great Depression, and how did they make do, all the ways that they made do with what they had. And so I would really recommend those two. It really, really will help gain some perspective, encouragement, and see, it's important to kind of look to the women of the past to see what examples they set for us, and how we can follow them and gain some insight and get some help, and most importantly, feel not to feel panic and not to feel fear, and take this time as a time to reflect, to get back to the basics, and really discover how resourceful we can be, and use that as a launching pad to really connect to God, and really take this time to try to develop our spirituality and make it a time of connection, inshallah. Okay, so until next time, we'll meet again, inshallah. I hope everyone's staying safe and sane. Please leave a comment below if you have any tips and tricks for us. Inshallah, we can all share together. Okay? Assalamu alaikum.